that's not true, okay? Sometimes numbers come up because the wheel gets unbalanced, but if it's a perfectly balanced wheel, then it's an independent shot every time it's spun. Same thing when you throw the dice, okay? Independent. So please make sure you have that in that first part of the answer. All right, so we went through all over the fractions, right? So for big P, that was 25%. And then Kathleen said she got 20. Any other random numbers for big P for actual? Nothing, everyone got the same. What about big P, little p? What was that anyway? Was that 50?
Expected was 50, actual 52.
52. Anyone have anything really far off? What did you have? 60. What about little p, little p? 18. 22, that's really close, right? 24. So within, if you were to do comparisons of the ratios from out of 4 out of 50, they're relatively close still. And you know, you still have some changes in there because of variation and because it's still an independent toss every time you do it, okay? So let's move on to part 2. So this one's going to get a little trickier because we're dealing with 2 traits. We're doing our big square. So we're using 2 pennies and 2 nickels, okay? You got a lot of change in front of you after you do your first square. So the penny is going to deal with the color, and the nickel is going to deal with the texture, okay? So then what does that mean that represents? A type of what? Starts with a G, ends with an gene. So the penny's a gene. The color is what? What's a different variation of a gene? What's the word? The 2 letters when they separate are what? Alleles. Yes. So each of them is a gene with the trait. Each of the things on the side are the alleles. Okay? So in this one we're doing they're heterozygous. So here's the cross that you are doing. Big Y, little y, big R, little r, big Y, little y, big R, little r. Good? So first thing you're going to do is do the Punnett square. What do you have to do first before you build your Punnett square? Do your alleles. Tally, can you pass me a marker on the board? Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Epic fail. Because this is counting as a lab grade, I want to make sure you show the crosses. So before you start, you're going to do the alleles here, and then where do they go? On the what? The Punnett square, and do your cross. So get in your groups right now and do your cross right now. Do all your alleles to the right there. Where's our alleles?
Wait, how is it supposed to look?
Y can go with big R. Put on your alleles. Let me see your alleles.
Is it both for big ones? Or is there
These should be the same because they're the same parent.
So that's right.
Big Y. Why is that big Y? Big Y can go with big R. put your Y's in front. Because that's the trait that's in front. So that you don't get confused. You know what I mean?
But like if it's like a big R.
No. Because you want the first trait first. If it's next to a little R, you want the big R first. But because it's listed as having the yellow first, for this purpose, just like that. Look, do the first. So do this. Hold on, let's zoom out. Because when you do this one, you're still going to do a big Y. Big Y, little Y. Then big R. And that matters. You don't put like Y and R next to each other. That's why. And I just don't want you to get confused here which one goes first. Just be consistent.
I have a question. How is this supposed to look? Is this?
You're supposed to compare the fractions and tell me how close it is to the ratio that we predicted. So we predicted a 1 to 2 to 1 ratio. How is that similar? So you have to compare. You doing your alleles? Do this part now. Go back to these questions after. Get this square done. So we have to be tossing. Do it just like that. Set it up and do your alleles for each one. You alright, Taylor? Yes. This should be done. Yes. The other one should be the same because they're both the same. Do you understand what you're doing? Big Y, little y. We're going to do the alleles first. So big Y, little y right now. Big R, little r. Let's do all the alleles for the last one. Same. So big Y, little r. Just make it for me. What is it?
Yeah, the volume was all the way down.
Just big R. Now big Y can go with little r. Big R. Little y can go with little r. So now look. I'll be right there. There. Come on, we know this. Erase it. Take your hand down. Do the first. See how I set it up? Do the first one again. Write this out. Put big R, little y. Big Y, little r. And then big R, little r. So let's just start. Start here with this first one. You're crossing it. So you say this can go with this, or this can go with that. So put big Y, big R. Big Y, little r. No, underneath, because we're making a list, remember? Now little y can go with big R, right? Right now we're just putting we're just setting up the alleles. He says you see what the letter first. Big R. Little y can go with little r. Alright? Do you see where that came from? So it went like that, and then the last one was that.
So is this right?
And then the other parent is the same, so you don't have to do it again. Now you're going to put this list on this side, and then again up here, because it's the same.
So I mean like
I just didn't see this. Big Y can go with big R, big Y can go with little r. So now these, so write those down side for me. The ones we did. Big R, big Y, big R. Big Y, little r. Little y, okay, and then go right across. Julia kind of no, I have an evil face on Julia.